Imagine a long, long time ago, around the year 1170, in a quiet Spanish village, a kind couple, Felix and Jane, were waiting for their third son. Before he was born, Jane had a special dream. She saw a black and white dog with a flaming torch in its mouth jumping out and setting the world on fire. This dream was a sign. It meant her child would be like a watchdog for the church, lighting up the world with God's truth, the gospel. So they named him Dominic, meaning hounds of the Lord. When he was baptized, a shining star appeared on his forehead, a sign he was meant to bring light to everyone. Dominic grew up as a smart boy, studying religion and arts for 10 years, but he cared more about people than books. You might wonder, why would someone sell all their valuable books? Was Saint Dominic's family poor? Dominic's family was actually quite rich, but in 1191, a terrible hunger crisis hit Spain. Dominic sold everything he owned, his furniture, clothes, and even his precious handwritten books, just to buy food for the hungry. He famously said, "How can I study from these old papers when people are dying of hunger?" This wasn't about being poor. It was about choosing to be incredibly kind and helpful. He even tried to sell himself as a slave twice to free others. Can you imagine being that selfless? After becoming a priest, Dominic spent 9 years praying and helping the church. But his real mission started in 1203 in southern France. He met people who believed in a dangerous idea called Albigensianism or Catharism. Perhaps you're asking, what was this Albigensian idea and why was it such a big problem? Imagine if someone told you that everything physical, your body, food, the world, was evil. The Albigensians believed this, rejecting many Christian teachings like Jesus becoming human. They even encouraged extreme fasting that sometimes led to death. It was a huge problem because it attacked the basic ideas of Christian faith. Other preachers had failed to stop this idea because they lived fancy lives, which looked bad next to the Albigensians' simple ways. Dominic saw this. He and his bishop chose to live simply, like Jesus' first followers, walking barefoot, fasting, and praying. This made people trust them. Dominic spent many hours calmly talking, not just to win arguments, but to bring people back to the truth. His simple life was his most powerful sermon. Dominic realized the church needed a new group dedicated to finding and sharing truth. In 1206, he started something amazing, the first Dominican convent for women in Prouel, France. This often makes people curious. Were Dominican nuns around before the friars, the men? How did that happen? Yes, surprisingly, the Dominican nuns came first. Dominic started this convent to give girls a safe place to live and learn, protecting them from bad ideas. Later, in 1215, he gathered 6 friends and formed the group of men called the Order of Preachers. This new group mixed prayer and good deeds with a strong focus on learning and always preaching. These men were to be well trained, smart about religion, and ready to preach God's message anywhere. Pope Honorius III officially approved the group, and Dominic became the Pope's main religious expert. The group grew very fast across Europe, setting up places in big university cities like Paris and Bologna, showing how important learning was to their mission. Dominic's life was a master class in being spiritual, built on 4 ideas: prayer, study, community, and preaching. He seemed to always talk with God and about God. A really interesting question is, what are the 9 ways of prayer of Saint Dominic? And did he really float in the air? Dominic was known for praying very deeply, often gazing at a crucifix for hours. The 9 ways of prayer describe different body positions he used, believing they helped his soul connect deeply with God. And yes, stories from people who knew him do say that he would sometimes float in the air during these intense prayers. For Dominic, study was vital for holy preaching. You had to truly understand God's word to share it well. Community meant living together as brothers, sharing everything. And preaching was their main purpose, traveling the world to share the good news. Their motto, to praise, to bless, and to preach, explains their mission. Another motto was simply truth, veritas. Dominic lived what he preached. He was disciplined, often fasting, and walked barefoot. He was humble and accepted insults with joy. His brave belief was legendary. When heretics asked him what he'd do if captured, he calmly said he'd ask them to cut me up piece by piece so as to give me a slow death. That's true courage. Many events showed Dominic's special connection with God. He is traditionally credited with bringing 3 dead people back to life. This is a very common question. Did Saint Dominic invent the rosary? Is that a true story? This is a wonderful and much loved story. While historians discuss the exact beginning, a strong tradition says that in 1214, the Blessed Virgin Mary, meaning Mother Mary, appeared to Dominic while he was praying. She reportedly gave him the Holy Rosary, calling it the main weapon to fight bad ideas. The Rosary focuses on Jesus becoming human, which went against the Albigensian idea that physical things were evil. Whether he invented it or was deeply inspired, the Dominicans were key in spreading the Rosary far and wide. He also saw a vision of Saint Peter and Saint Paul, who gave him a staff and a book, telling him to go and preach because God had chosen him. Saint Dominic's impact on the Catholic Church is huge. He started the Dominican order, one of the most important groups in the Middle Ages. Dominicans are famous for being smart thinkers, producing brilliant minds like Saint Thomas Aquinas. Because of Dominic, the Holy Rosary became a widespread and powerful prayer. Dominic is the patron saint of astronomers, scientists, and people who are wrongly accused. His story, choosing a simple life, helping others, and standing up for truth, still inspires people today. Saint Dominic finally died from a fever on August 6, 1221, in Bologna, Italy. Even in his last moments, he was humble. He asked for him to be laid on a simple sack on the floor, refusing a comfortable bed. He told his followers to always be kind and humble, reminding them that their real treasure in heaven was built on living a simple life. Here's a quick fact that often surprises people. How quickly was Saint Dominic made a saint after he died? Just 3 years later, on July 13, 1234, Pope Gregory IX declared him a saint. This quick decision showed how truly special his life was. You might be wondering, if he died on August 6th, why is his feast day on August 8th? That's a great question. Even though he died on August 6th, his feast day is celebrated on August 8th. This is because August 6th is already a very important church holiday, the feast of the Transfiguration of the Lord, remembering a special moment when Jesus showed his divine glory. To make sure both events could be properly celebrated, Saint Dominic's feast day was moved. Saint Dominic's story isn't just a collection of historical facts and miraculous events. It's a living testament to a life built on prayer, study, community, and preaching. He taught us that true courage isn't about physical strength, but about the willingness to sell everything you own for a stranger, to calmly face death for your beliefs, and to live a life so simple and humble, it becomes a powerful sermon. From his visionary birth to his peaceful death on a simple sack, Dominic's journey shows us that a single person, guided by deep faith and a love for others, can ignite a fire that changes the world. His legacy lives on not only in the Dominicans and the Rosary, but in the timeless example that living a life of truth and kindness is the ultimate treasure.